Hi, welcome to 90% Knitting. This is episode nothing. I'm not giving it a number because it is not even a regular episode. It's just a little quickie that I'm going to record today because I do not have time to record a full episode. My name is Lisa. I'm also known as Fiber Nymph on Ravelry and Instagram, and I'm the dyer behind Fiber Nymph Dye Works, which is the reason why I don't have time to record a full episode today. I have a show coming up on Saturday, and I am deep in last-minute show prep mode. Yeah, today is actually my last dyeing day for the show, so I've got a ton of things to get done. I was apparently just, I don't know, in some other world when I thought that I would be able to record a full episode today. But I do just have a few things that I wanted to be able to tell you today since it's the end of April, and by the time I'm able to record next week, which will hopefully be the earlier part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, something like that, it'll be May. So I just have some timely things that I wanted to make sure that I got out to you before May starts. I don't really have a lot of knitting anyway that I could show you if it was a regular episode. I will show you a little hat that I finished though. I started and finished. Look, isn't it cute? Colorwork hat. This is the Bridgewalker hat by Sarah Jordan. I'll give you all of the details about it when I record next week, but I knit this up real quick this week as a show sample because I'm going to have kits for her Bridgewalker hat and mittens patterns in my booth on Saturday. So yay! The motif is inspired by the ironwork on the metalwork on one of the bridges in Pittsburgh. So anyway, I did do that, and I've worked a lot on my Find Your Fade shawl because I really want to have it done for Saturday. I'm in color number 6. And I'm totally cheating. I decided this morning, made the executive decision that this shawl is huge. I've gone far enough with color 6. You're supposed to do, I think, like 15 repeats of the garter, just the straight garter section. I think I did 8. And I said, that's enough. I'm done. I'm moving on to the eyelet section. So I'm going to do an abbreviated part of the eyelet section as well. And then I'm going to go into color 7. And I may end up abbreviating that. That's already a short section anyway, the way it's written. Yeah, I really want to have it finished and off the needles, so I don't feel bad at all about having abbreviated that 6th section, that 6th color. Yeah, I don't. I thought about it this morning when I was on that verge, you know, like, do I do this? Will I feel bad if I got this far doing it correctly? No, I will not feel bad at all. It's a huge shawl. It's going to be fine. And it will serve my purpose as, you know, a show sample showing off like 7 different colorways in 2 different bases. So that's what I wanted, and hopefully that's what I'll get. So I'm going to be knitting like crazy on that between now and Saturday morning pretty much. Well, Friday night, because if it's not done by Saturday morning, it'll be going while still on the needles again. So anyway, yeah, that's the only knitting. But again, I'll show you all of that in great detail next week when I record. I have been spinning a little bit as I've had time. I had one good spinning session up at the Mountain House working on that Tempted merino that I'm doing, the prize fiber that I'm spinning, and I'm about halfway through the second color, or the second half of that fiber now. So it's going well. I still love it. Hopefully I'll be able to get that finished up soon. I did actually do a little drop spindling this week, just as I do this once in a blue moon, kind of as a meditative relaxation thing. 'Cause I don't love drop spindling. Okay, I have to take that back. I do enjoy drop spindling, but then once I have the singles on the spindle, I'm like, now what do I do with it? Because I hate plying on a spindle. I realize you can ply on the wheel. I don't know. I do like the meditative process of drop spindling. And I had this little tiny Turkish that I bought last year from Subterranean Woodworks, and I've never used it. So I pulled it off the shelf, and I had this just random bat of fiber. I have no idea where this came from. I think it was like maybe just something given to me by someone. I don't even remember who. It's been up in a yarn bowl on top of this bookcase for years. And so I just pulled that down and I started to spin with it. And, you know, it's spinning up super, super fine, like gnat's eyelash fine. But it's such a cute little spindle, isn't it? It's adorable. So yeah, that's it. That is everything I have done creatively this week other than dyeing, and I've done a lot of that. So um, other than that, let's get into what the things that I definitely needed to tell you about before I record next week. Number one, mainly it's about the cow, the year in the life of a knitter cow, because by the time I record next week, April will be over and we'll be into May. So when I record next time, I will announce the winners of the April winners from the chatter thread. At this point, I think there's 140 some posts. About 28 of them are mine. So there's still over 100 posts from you guys in the chatter thread, which means that's good for at least 2 prizes at this point, because I'm offering 1 prize for every 50 posts in the chatter thread. So I know historically this year the last few days of every month seems to be when a lot of people post in that thread. So I fully anticipate that there will be many more posts by the time I do the drawings next week. So you can stay tuned for that. And I will also announce the winner of the April challenge, which was the Shorty and Sporty sock challenge. Not as many entries in that. I realized that was kind of a toughie, you know, knitting a pair of socks, even if they're shorty. That's a commitment, but there are like I think 10 entries at this point maybe. Well, there's 11 posts. One of them was mine. And I know at least one of them was done with my yarn, so there's 2 posts from the same person. Anyway, there's 10 entries so far. So if you're finishing up some Shorty and Sporty socks, get those in there by the end of Sunday, and you will be part of that drawing. I realize I have not shown you any prizes that I will be awarding for April. That's because I don't have them all chosen yet, but you can be rest assured that they will be along the same lines of the kind of prizes that I have been offering in the past 3 months. So yarn, fiber, other wonderful goodies that I hope you will be happy with and be happy to choose from. So stay tuned for that next week. Also, since May will already have started by the time I record next week, I wanted to let you know a heads up about the May challenge for the knit along, and that is going to be the May flowers challenge, because April showers bring May flowers, right? Yeah. So the May flowers challenge. Here's what you have to do to be able to have projects qualify for that. Your project either has to have a flower motif in it, or it needs to have the word flower or flowers or the name of a specific flower in the pattern title. So for instance, Rose City Rollers. Rose is the type of flower, right? So that would qualify. That's just an example. It doesn't have to be socks. Or the yarn that you're knitting with has to have a colorway that has either the word flower or flowers in it or the name of a specific flower. So like cornflower blue or daffodil, or like my colorway among the wildflowers. Any of those would count. So those are the 3 criteria. You only have to meet one, either the flower motif or a pattern with flower or the name of a specific flower in it, or yarn that has a colorway that has flower or the name of a specific flower in it. Okay, any one of those qualifies your project. The other qualification is you have to use at least 50 yards of yarn. Okay, so 50 yards, doesn't matter what weight it is, as long as you've used 50 yards. And this can be knitting, crocheting. If you're doing spinning, you have to spin at least 50 yards of your final yarn, not just singles, like it has to be a finished project. So again, there the fiber would need to have, you know, the name of a flower in the title. So yeah, 50 yards and one of those first 3 criteria. And as always, if you use Fiber Nymph Dye Works yarn or fiber for your entire project, then you get to post a second entry of your same project. So you get 2 entries for that. So that's the May Flowers Challenge. I will put a thread up for that in the group soon, the 90% Knitting group, so that you'll be able to read all of that I just told you. Okay, I think that's everything for the cow. Second, vending. I will give you the details now of what I am vending, where I am vending. That is this coming Saturday, April 29th from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. It is local to me. It is going to be up in Delmont, PA at the Delmont Fire Hall, and it's called the Rags Fiber Affair and Wool Market. I have never vended here before. I'm very excited to be vending here though because I would say it's a small-ish show. I think there's approximately 20 vendors maybe, but a lot of them are new to me, and that's exciting because they're all pretty much local. And I know there's some crossover between vendors who have been at Indie Knit and Spin, which is over on the Pittsburgh side of where I'm at. This is on the other side. This is to the east of me by a little bit, and so it'll be fun to see. I think like Dusty Tree Soaps, I think she's going to be there. And there's a couple other that I know that I recognize from Indie Knit and Spin, but there's a lot that I do not recognize, and I can't wait to see them. And I think there are also a lot of, some of the vendors are from farms, local farms, so that will be exciting too. I can't wait. I'll tell you all about it next week after I vend, but I'm looking forward to doing it because it's a new show. And it's exciting. And if you do come, please, please stop by the booth and say hello. I'm always happy to see people who know me from the podcast, even if I don't know your face. And you know what? If you have introduced yourself to me before at different events, please do not be offended if I don't remember you or recognize you or can't put your name to your face. I see so many people, and it's really, really hard for me to connect that way. I usually recognize faces but don't remember names. That's generally the way it goes. But please introduce yourself again. I would love to see you. Okay. Related to vending, next week I will have a shop update on Friday, the 5th of May at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is kind of becoming my standard shop update time again. I used to update all the times on Fridays, and I'm getting back to that, and I like having that regular-ish time to vend or to have my shop updates. But what I was going to say is I have been holding my show inventory for several months now because I had Indie Knit and Spin back in November, and then I had, well, actually, I may have been holding some of it since SSK last summer. I think I did hold a bunch of it over from that, knowing that I had a lot going on in the fall, and I had Indie Knit and Spin in November, so I had that, and then I had the show in Disney in January, and then I had Indie Knit and Spin in February again, and now I've got this show. This is the last show on my calendar, though, until this coming fall. So I've got a wide open summer that I will not be vending, at least as far as I know, unless something comes up out of the blue. And so I am going to be rotating most of my show inventory out of my show holdings, and putting it in the shop for you guys. So I'm excited to do that because as much as I loved having that show inventory set aside, that made my life so much easier. But it'll be nice to be able to put more than just show orphans in the shop for you this time. So you can be looking forward to that over a couple of updates probably. There may be some things that I'll hold just because they're timeless and I can do that. But I'm gonna rotate a lot of stuff out. So you can probably look for the next couple of updates to have a whole lot of fun things that have been at shows and have come home with me, like gradients and fiber and, you know, things that I don't put in my shop a lot because I'm usually working on them for shows. So, yeah, that will start going into the shop next Friday, the 5th of May. And lastly, the Pie of the Every Other Month Club. I can't remember if I already mentioned this or not. I'm sorry. My brain is not functioning linearly, apparently, because I have a list in front of me, and I don't remember if I already said it. The final shipment of the Pie of the Every Other Month Club, it's all dyed. I'm working on rescanning it, and it will all ship out on Friday. So if you're in that club, be watching your mailboxes because that'll be coming to you by early next week. It's been such a fun club to do. Thank you to everybody who was a part of it. that concludes both of my clubs that I've had going on, because the Killarney Collection Club ended last month and this one's ending this month. Now, the barbershop, the Barber Pole Fiber Club will begin next month. Those shipments will go out at the end of May, and I will have information for you in the coming next week or two about the Myths, Legends, and Fairy Tales self-striping club that's going to be coming up, and that will all be on heavier weight yarns. So I will have that information coming. Sign-ups will be in May for that, and that will start shipping out in June, the end of June. So 2 clubs end, 2 new ones start. It's a lot of fun. I love doing clubs. Clubs are fun. Okay, I think that's everything I have for you. Like I said, I wanted to touch base, even though I could not do an entire full episode this week. But I just wanted to make sure, especially about the knit-along stuff. That was the main stuff I wanted to make sure I got out to you. And about the show this Saturday. So that's everything. Please have a wonderful rest of your week. I am going to go out now and get busy in the dye pots and with everything else I have to do today. So that's it. Take care, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.